A woman accidentally discovered a masked intruder and was instantly terrified when she realized he had somehow made it to her front door. Since the door wasn't locked, the intruder entered without any effort. But by that time, the woman had already vanished without a trace. However, the spinning ball of yarn on the floor immediately alerted the intruder that something was off. He followed the trail of yarn to the staircase. It looked like the woman had run upstairs. Just then, another masked intruder entered the house. The first man pointed toward the yarn, signaling that their target had gone upstairs. The two men quietly advanced, following the trail into the bedroom. They assumed she was hiding under the bed, but when they lifted the sheets, nothing. They searched the room with no luck, until one of them noticed movement behind the bathroom curtain. He raised his hammer and slowly approached. What he didn't know was that the woman had been waiting for him. She unleashed a homemade flamethrower, catching the intruder completely off guard. The second intruder rushed toward her, but the woman didn't panic. Using the fire as a threat, she managed to keep him at bay while retreating step by step. But as she turned to run, the intruder behind her closed in fast. In her panic, the woman tripped, tumbling violently down the stairs. The crash left her looking completely knocked out, but in reality, she was fully conscious. When the intruder came closer and kicked her to check, she didn't respond at all, making him drop his guard completely. Seizing the opportunity, she struck back and made a run for it, but she was still a step too late, trapped in a corner with nowhere left to run. In that moment, she knew she couldn't risk making him angrier, so she reluctantly gave in and let herself be tied up. 3 minutes later, the woman was bound and shoved into a car. Just as the intruders were about to drive off and report back, a police car suddenly began following them. It turned out the car they stole had already been reported, which caught the attention of the police. The intruders had no choice but to pull over, but these guys weren't about to go down without a fight. They prepared to battle it out with the cops. Meanwhile, the woman seized the moment and ran. She had no intention of sticking around to get caught in the crossfire.